I'm Judy Pusch, and I'm from a lot of places, but most recently from Denver. The open house back in March 7th of 2015. Actually, at the time, I was on my way out of swimming. I had been a member of another team that had been disbanded when our coach quit, and team members heard about this open house, and so I was like, well, this is going to be a 50-meter pool, and I'd never swum in one before, and so that was going to be my last swim, or at least I thought it was. And this place was really too far from where I live, and so it wasn't really reasonable for me to keep coming back, but I don't know, that open house thing sucked me in. Well, Brendan was the one who said, if you want to get faster, you might want to try some strength training. And I know how I am in a group, especially in dry land, because I don't like dry land. And I know how I am in a group. It's easier for me to hide or not to show up. I'm not responsible for anything that I fail at or decide not to do. And so I knew that a one-on-one would hold me much more accountable. I have to actually call you if I want to cancel my appointment, and who wants to make up an excuse to do that, you know? So I had balance issues from an illness that I had about 10 years ago, and I have residual effects from that, so I kind of need to be watched, you know, make sure that anything that I do is safe. That's how I started, but then I started introducing those classes later on, so that's also been a big benefit to me. It was 3 years ago. I was very overweight, I mean morbidly so, and I knew that my health was in great danger, and I knew also that I was tired of being tired. I was tired of getting up and not being able to go anywhere, you know, having to plan to go to the grocery store, to try to make my list in order so that I don't have to walk as far back and forth. I can just go up and down the aisles that I need to and get out as quickly as possible, because it was just so tiring. And, you know, not being able just to go out and to do things everybody else could do, you know, seeing everybody else doing things. And so I decided I was tired of being tired and wanted to do all this stuff. And swimming was something that I did as a child in summer league age group. And it was the one thing I knew that in the past when I would try to lose weight, the one thing I would fail at would be the exercise. And because I could never stick to it, you know, I could run for maybe, you know, 5 minutes, and then after for a couple of days, and then I'd get sick of it and quit, and then that would be the end of it. But swimming was something that I always come back to. It's something that I know more about, or at least I've known about it for most of my life more than any other activity. But so I started swimming, started not eating as much sugar. And just watched what I ate, and I stuck to my activity of swimming, regardless of whether it was just me on my own or me with the group, and I lost 136 pounds. I lost one of me, that would be 136 pounds. Coming here when I don't want to be here, I mean, when I don't have the motivation to actually get up and come here, but that's the hardest part. But once I'm here, I see all the people here who are just like, who are in the same boat that I'm in, and we all kind of get together to encourage each other and get through the workouts, whether it's swimming or strength training, especially strength training though, because I've done a lot in strength training that I thought I would ever do. I never in a million years thought I'd ever do a single pull-up, let alone do 40 of them. But I think that I think it's finding out all the things that I can do that I didn't know I could do. I think that's probably what makes me the happiest right now. Whether it was swimming Alcatraz or just doing 40 pull-ups, you know, both of those things to me are kind of equally inspiring for me, motivating. Everybody has their own rock bottom, and you have to know what yours is and know when to identify it, because by then it's too late. If you can find that rock bottom, know you're not going to ever go down there, and just realize that yes, you might have a long ways to go. Yes, it might seem like it's impossible to get there because it's so far. Like losing 100 pounds seems like it would take forever and just not even worth it. I'll die of old age before that happens. That's probably the hardest thing, is to realize that those long journeys, even though they're long, they're obtainable. And even though you may not be able to do anything now about you know, your activities, whether or not you're not good at doing anything, there's always something out there that you're good at. And you just have to find the right support group, and that's probably the most important thing, is finding, you have to have you have to have multiple layers of support groups too. You can't just have one, because things change, people move on. You have to be able to find a fallback group. And so that's one reason why I like it here, because I have that. I've got multiple layers of support, and it's a negative feedback, or I guess it's a positive feedback, really. You know, when one inspires someone, and you know, I was inspired, and so I try to inspire other people, and watching me inspire other people just helps inspire me just as much. So I think that it's the support that's the most important, because you have to be able to you know, fail together and succeed together, and know that when you do fail alone, that you're not going to be alone. And so I think that's the advice I would give. I think the most important thing would be to find your support system. Before you do anything, find the support.